Hello and welcome, ambitious practitioners. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful strategy from consultant Dr. Ari Masudi. It tackles one of the biggest challenges in aesthetic medicine. How do you turn that first consultation into a predictable, high-value patient relationship for the long haul?
So let's start with this scene that I'm sure is way too familiar for many of you. You spend an hour, maybe more, putting together the absolute, perfect, comprehensive treatment plan. You've built amazing rapport, you've explained all the science, and then you hear those dreaded words, "I need to think about it." And just like that, the conversation is over.
So what's actually going on here? Well, according to the source material, the huge mistake we often make is asking for a massive commitment way too soon. This all-or-nothing approach, it doesn't build excitement. No, it creates what's called decision paralysis, and it basically, quietly, shows a potentially fantastic patient the door.
So instead of that one single high-stakes moment, this strategy is a complete shift in how you think. It's called the commitment escalator, and it's all about designing a patient journey that's built not on one giant yes, but on a whole series of smaller, much easier ones.
This idea completely reframes your role. You're no longer a salesperson just trying to close a big deal. Nope, you're an architect and you're designing a journey. You are literally building a commitment ladder where every single rung is a carefully thought-out step, making it super easy for the patient to climb, all while building their trust in you.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do you actually build this ladder inside your own clinic? Let's break down the tangible steps that can turn a hesitant new person into one of your most loyal advocates.
You know, the process is actually beautifully simple, and it all unfolds over just 3 visits. You start with what's called a micro-commitment, a low-risk, high-reward treatment to start. This gets them in the door, it builds instant trust because they see results, and it perfectly sets the stage for the next, slightly bigger yes on their second visit. By the 3rd time you see them, they're not a prospect anymore. They're your patient, and they're ready for the full plan.
And this, right here, is the real art of the strategy. It is never about upselling. It's about creating a logical flow. Each treatment should just naturally create the desire for the next one. You're not pushing them into anything. You're guiding them on their own aesthetic journey. And every success just builds their excitement for what's possible next.
Now, I want to be clear. This isn't just some clever business tactic. This whole framework is actually deeply rooted in proven psychological principles. So let's take a quick look at the science of yes and really understand why this approach works so well.
At its very core, this strategy is leveraging a classic concept you might have heard of called the foot in the door technique. It's simple. By getting someone to agree to a small initial request, you dramatically increase the chances that they'll agree to a much bigger one later on.
And look, the numbers don't lie. They back this up in a big way. The research highlighted in the source shows that this step-by-step approach can boost conversion rates by a staggering 47% compared to asking for that huge commitment right at the start. I mean, that is a massive, practice-changing number.
So why does this work so well? Well, it taps into something really powerful in our brains called the consistency bias. We are basically hardwired to act in ways that are consistent with our past decisions and how we see ourselves. So once someone becomes a person who gets treatments at your clinic, their brain wants to keep reinforcing that identity. And the cool thing is, you can actively help reinforce this new identity by using inclusive language like, as one of our valued patients, or for our aesthetic wellness members. You help solidify in their own mind that they are someone who is committed to this journey with you. All right, so this entire process, it all leads to the end game, right? The real goal for any elite practice, locking in that long-term value. Let's look at how you turn these clients into loyal members and secure that predictable recurring revenue stream.
Let's talk money for a second, because the financial impact here it's just massive. This isn't just about getting more patients. It's about unlocking so much more lifetime value. The data shows that members spend, on average, 3.7 times more per year than clients who are just paying per treatment. That right there is the financial engine of this whole strategy.
Okay, but the timing for bringing this up is absolutely critical. You don't lead with the membership program on day 1. You introduce it after they've already had 1 or 2 really positive experiences with you. At that point, it's not a sales pitch anymore, is it? It's just the logical next step for someone who is clearly committed to their journey and already trusts your results.
And to make this super easy to implement, Dr. Masudi provides this perfect, actionable pricing structure. You present 3 tiers, and always in this order. The single treatment is the trial option. The series of treatments is the most popular choice. And the membership? That's the best value.
The whole goal here is to gently guide about 80% of your patients toward those top 2 tiers by their second visit. And that really leaves us with a final, powerful question you need to ask yourself. When a new patient comes in, are you just handing them an overwhelming menu of services? Or are you inviting them on a carefully designed, psychologically sound journey that leads them directly to loyalty and long-term value? The choice really is yours.